everybody. All right, we're doing another flower today. Let's go ahead and get started now. This is the base coat. It is a custom like teal kind of color. I did make a ton of this. My plan is to actually end up making 2 of the exact same color. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. What I'm gonna do is put a little bit in the center. I have a problem with the centers being too thick. And when I use a palette knife to thin it out, well, I'm just not good with a palette knife and it becomes a little bit uneven. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spin this a little bit just to get it a little thinner. That is just not moving. And then I'll pour more base coat around it. This is kind of thin right now in the center, and that's fine. It's kind of what we're going for here. So let me pour my little square. So I learned something new with all of these flowers and how to get my base coat to be exactly where I need it to be. So I'm hoping that this actually does the trick. All right, so I'm starting with phthalo green. And we've got phthalo blue. Now we're coming in with some, oh, what is this? Red violet. Not too much, because that can take over. Now we've got some light gold. Now I'm gonna pour white around the center. It was too off center for my liking. So the painting I actually did yesterday, it was way off center. I don't know how I missed the mark. I mean, I think it's kind of cool when it's a little off center, but this was just atrocious. Anyways, when I started spinning it, what happened was I had a little too much base coat down, and so the entire center just moved. Because you know when you spin them, if it's in the center, the paint spreads out from the center, right? And if it's off center and the paint spreads out, this paint up here was like basically pushing it down. So my center ended up like here. I was crazy. It still ended up pretty cool, but it was weird for sure. But you know what? Sometimes a little bit of weirdness just makes these little things even more beautiful. I think I'm seeing more blue and red than I am green, but that's okay. This will be a nice green one. Let's just come in and add some little lines, break these up a little bit. And let me hit this with some more fire. I'm gonna turn the fire really low and try to just get the center. Let's give it a whirl. I'm gonna go just a little bit more, but this does need some help, man. I think I may actually stop here and let me get the edges real quick. I gotta figure out what to do. This guy just does not want to move where I want it to move. But I don't want to keep spinning because I want this to stay how it is. I want this to stay how it is, and I don't want to lose any more color in these over here. So I may need to do a little bit of scraping over here, but let me see if I can make this a little bit. Oh, what is this? What the heck is in here? See, I always have that one petal that just looks so weird. Sometimes I like the weird. I don't know if I like this weird that much. I don't know. Do I keep that jagged thing or not? Guys, I need help. Talk to me. Okay, I may need to reshape it, but let me think about that first. I'm gonna go ahead and just scrape my sides. And y'all, I could have actually spun this more, but sometimes I have a habit of getting a little bit too crazy with the spinner and just going overboard. And I've actually watched a lot of videos where I'm like, gosh, I should have stopped right there, but I kept going. And then my composition gets kind of wonky. So I want to make sure I don't make that mistake. I really want to kind of take a step back and just make sure that I like the composition. And I do actually like it the way it is. I just don't know if I want to keep that little pointy thing or not. I do find it interesting when all the petals have their own uniqueness. You got these two that kind of come over and like get cut off. This one's a little bit weird, but I kind of like it. I really like that one. I think that one's super pretty. And I wanted to make sure that I did not spin it so much that that bloom ends up falling off, because I think that adds a lot. It's just this one didn't quite move and bloom out the way I wanted it to, but I think that might be okay. Let me get my edges first, and I'm going to reassess everything. If I end up not liking this petal because it's a little too narrow, one thing I could do is always come in after it dries and add a little bit of like white shading around it just to give it a little bit more volume. Because I don't know if you can, camera probably can't pick this up, but I'll do some close-ups later. Like this one over here has a really cool white outline on it. And I think that might be interesting. I really do hate embellishing paintings after they dry though. Sometimes it's a necessity. Nah, I don't think I made it any better. Okay, we're gonna do a little scrapey. Now it's not going to need very much. I mean, it's just a little thing that I'm scraping here. So I am just going to scrape. I don't know, how do I do this without looking totally off? I think I have just enough left. Oh my gosh, I see a little freaking gnat. God dog you. Did you see that? He just flew right in my painting. Oh my goodness. Right in front of my face. He obviously had a death wish. All right. I think that's good enough. I mean, it's so bright. Like there's so many pretty colors on here. I really, really like it. I'm also going around the sides and just making sure that everything looks nice. Honestly, every single little drip that's over the side is absolutely gorgeous. Like it's perfect. It is so nice when you don't really have to do anything to a painting once you're done with it. And like I made that little tiny adjustment over there. I mean, that was nothing. And I probably could have done more adjustments, but because it's kind of narrow, I'm a little bit afraid that if I do too much, then it'll just really throw it off. So I am going to leave it how it is. Well, this is it. I absolutely love it. Wonky petal and all. I'll go ahead and take you all in for some close-ups. Thank you all for watching, and happy pouring.